Hello, everybody, and welcome to the VAU mic check. This is Mike. I'm finally back, and life will not get in the way this time. And I've had a bad habit of having to duck out or not show up because of, life. But anyway, not today. Today we're going to have some fun. Today we have a lot of new people on, a lot of new faces, and, a lot of our favorite returning faces, which is everybody who returns. And we have a volunteer from none other than Nathan, but not Nathan Cundiff, the other Nathan.
Hello, my name is Nathan Munson, and today I'm going to be doing a script read from Movie Gallery.
So, today it's the Nathan and Nathan show. This might get a little confusing, but we'll have some fun with it.
Hey, if it helps, you can just call me Munson.
Well, whenever you're ready, go ahead and go for it.
All right, I think I'm ready. Here I go. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family, some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have, and every single one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
All right, opening it up. What did you all think?
I think you could slow down a bit.
All right.
Yeah, and you're doing a lot with the script. Like, you're hitting a lot of extremes that I think if you calm down your delivery a bit more, it'd be a bit because the way you're delivering it, it feels very explosive, like bam, action movie. And I feel like the script is more like trying to say, hey, get together with your family and sit down and watch a movie.
All right.
And you're yelling at me.
I have that same take, Dodge, and a couple of things I wanted to add to that, Nathan. You're going to want to accentuate the name of the brand here, Movie Gallery. The first mention of it is near the end of the script. At Movie Gallery, you have thousands. Take a second and punch that just a little bit, not over the top, of course. And then at the end, the tagline, put a little space between Movie Gallery and Play On. They ran together very quickly. You want to leave just a half a beat there to let that name sink in, and then hit that last tagline.
I got you. So, like, Movie Gallery, play on.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah, something else, Nathan. And this came from, I was telling the other Nathan earlier that I went to VO Atlanta last weekend, which was one of the more rewarding experiences I've ever had doing this. And we did speaking of the Edge Studio script library, we did an hour-and-a-half workout with David Goldberg from Edge Studio, who was, I think, their lead coach and the founder of the whole thing. He mentions, he kind of pointed out a technique that I had never really thought of before, but it was really beneficial to me and brilliant, actually. Notice that they snuck in the name of the business 3 more times in that script without actually giving the name Movie Gallery. Notice movies are in there 2 or 3 more times. So, with that in mind, that word probably, they put it in there probably to give it an extra, to have you punch that word, a little more heavily than some of the others, those 3 times. I count 3 other times besides that they put in the word movies. So hit that word a little harder.
Okay, so I get to try it one more time?
Absolutely.
All
you
right.
can try it as many times as you need to really get the right read.
All right, let me take a sip of my coffee. All right. So tone it down, give it a little more calmer voice, and pay attention to movie, and give it a half a beat near the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here I go. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family, Some of them even look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every single one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
Uh,
All right, a little nitpicky. A little nitpicky note from me is you added words in several times.
Oh, I did?
Yes. Like at the last sentence where it says, and every one of them is guaranteed. You added in single.
Oh.
And every single one of them is guaranteed. Sometimes that's okay. I've had several sessions, especially lately, where adding in words actually made it make a little bit more sense. So, sometimes it's okay, but it's definitely something you want to watch. If something doesn't sound right and they want you to add words into it, they will definitely let you know on the other side of the booth.
I understand. Thank you.
I feel like you're leaning on your words a little bit too hard because your read sounded very Italian gangster. Like I felt slightly threatened. Like you're like, your family, you remember them, right?
Yeah, your family, you remember them, right?
Yo, you remember your family. You gotta remember family. Family's important.
I felt like I was being threatened to go to Movie Gallery. If I didn't, something would happen.
If you don't go to Movie Gallery, things could happen. Capiche?
I can try working on that.
Another thing about that line, Nathan, I think they mean for it to be at least somewhat sarcastic. Your family, you remember them. Some of them even look like you, something like that.
Oh,
and,
okay.
Yeah, and on a side note, the coffee, avoid that when you're in the booth, man. If you're in a professional setting, it'll dry you out. It'll constrict your throat. Try to watch the caffeine intake. If you are ever in an audition situation or something, it'll change your voice.
As I've been told by another person by the name of Chris Patton.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think at the end there, the tag Movie Gallery Play On, you could have put a little bit more smile or excitement in that.
I can try that.
If you could, go ahead. Sorry.
I was worried I might have made it sound a little bit too over the top.
You could be a little bit more conversational.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it. Go for it.
All right. Just a little bit happier this time. All right, here I go. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them. Your family, some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite movies, plus the latest releases. Every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
You left out a word that time. Pretty cool.
Oh, what was it again?
You left out the word holiday, and including your favorite holiday movies.
Oh.
Well, one thing that I forgot to include into this, which Nathan Cundiff, I think we should make a note of this in the future. Let's go ahead and actually add the titles of these scripts. Let's keep the titles of the scripts into it because as I've been looking at a lot more audition scripts, a lot of audition scripts lately, I've noticed that the title actually gives away part of what the story of the script is.
Good point.
If somebody could look this up for me just to verify, because I dug so deeply into the Edge Studio library, it might be a little bit difficult to find this script, but I believe the title of the script is Poof.
Huh.
I mean, if somebody could look at it just to verify, but I'm pretty sure the title of this of this one is Poof.
Let me check here. Let's see.
Another thing, Nathan, are you looking at your copy now?
movie gallery text? Or
Just the script, your copy.
Yeah.
Pay attention to the punctuation and even the way that this is formatted. I mean, first off, there's an ellipses in the fifth line. Hit play and pause. Poof. You ran it right together as if it was just stuck right next to the word and. They really do mean for you to take a breath there, maybe not quite a second, but half a second or so between hit play and poof. And the way that it's chopped up like this, they mean for it to be separate thoughts. Divide this into this is a thought, this is a thought, this is a thought as you go through this and evaluate the script.
Oh, I never thought of it like that. That could definitely be very beneficial for this my next try. I'll give it one more try if that's okay.
Hang on a second. I actually wasn't done with my point. I had to step away real quick. But did somebody look up the name of the script? Was it Poof?
It's Poof. I found it.
Yes.
Okay, she found it.
Okay, Poof. So, Poof, what do you think of when you think Poof? Think of something either appearing or disappearing, right?
Yeah.
And the cloud of smoke, the little cloud of smoke.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's what they're going for. So if you read the script looking for what am I actually trying to say? What's the story of the script? You look at this and it's almost building up like a magic trick. Like imagine your character is a magician, all right? Like let's go through it a little bit just to see if I can hopefully communicate what I mean. All right. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put on a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world disappears. Just disappears. See what they're going for there? It's like they want to show that magical moment when you're watching a movie and absolutely nothing else bothers you. There's like nothing else going on.
Yeah.
There are other people in the room. You just get so into it. That's what they're trying to go for. They're trying to pop that moment out. So it's almost building up like this magic trick. Just imagine build up. You've seen stage magicians before. The people that will levitate pretty women and put them in boxes, cut them in half, things like that. There's always this build-up, and it's always supposed to seem so mystical and wonderful and magical. And that's kind of the same feeling that they're going for with the writing here. There's this mystical, wonderful, magical moment they're going for where everything else disappears. And suddenly you notice, hey, it's you and your family. You remember them, right? Your family? You're normally too busy to even notice that they exist. Sometimes you go to the cupboard and you realize food's missing, and that's why you don't. Oh, yeah, I have children. That's why. You get what I mean?
The milk is gone. I have a teenage son. Oh, my God.
It's like, wait, what happened to my bank account? Oh, of course.
Oh, that's right. I gave my daughter my credit card.
You see, that's what they're going for here. The overall background message is that there's this magic that happens when you watch movies where everything else disappears and suddenly the family is together.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to add on?
Can you smile during the recording? Sorry.
No, but I can do that.
Smile.
Hey.
It's important.
There you go. One word direction.
That's the thing. Smile.
All right.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
I get that direction a lot.
I can give this one more try, and I'll do it smiling.
Go for it.
All right. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them even look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies. plus the latest releases, and every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That was a great read. What did you all think of that?
No,
Yeah, I thought it was great. The only thing I think you probably may have kind of didn't handle quite right was your family. You read that as a question. Your family?
Oh.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I thought that was a good read.
Thank you.
There's some up talk in there, but it was good.
Yeah. Just slow down a bit so you're not tripping over yourself.
I understand. I will keep that in mind for future reads.
Yeah, there may also have been one or two places where you kind of paused briefly that didn't really call for it. So watch that. That's a problem that I had until it was pointed out at that workout with David Goldberg last week at the VAU Atlanta.
Let me ask you something, Nathan.
Yes.
Do you record yourself and for practice, play it back, edit it, things like that very often?
Not very often.
Do you read most of the time with your headphones on?
No. Sometimes
so you have monitors in front of you you're listening through?
If I'm editing something, I'll normally listen to myself. Like if it's a project I'm doing and I'm editing it for myself, I'll listen to how I say my words, and if I notice any stumbling, then I'll go back and re-record it.
I mean, as you're reading it, as you're recording it.
No, I normally listen to it after I'm done. But
okay, so you don't wear your headphones while you read. Okay, because it sounded like you were maybe a little bit self-conscious there, and I've learned the hard way from my own experience that a lot of times I get self-conscious when I can hear myself back through my headphones. That's why I was asking.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I to second that, I've spent about 25 years in radio, and I got the most valuable piece of advice I ever got from a program director was about 5 or 6 years into my career. So a program director came in and asked, he said, hey, have you ever thought about doing your breaks? And of course, he's talking about live radio here, and it's one of those things that without the safety net of the headphones, it's kind of weird at first, but he said, try not using them, because he said, I think you're going to have a much more natural sound. And now I have perfected that to the point that I can go to, I can travel through any sort of small market or major market in the country, and I can tell you when the guy on the air is using headphones, because the tendency is to sound a whole lot more like the old Ron radio, and you sound a whole lot better when you're not using them.
Oh, that kind of makes sense when I hear,
gives you a much more natural delivery and sound.
That kind of makes sense now, because I hear there was this video I was watching about the difference between listening to performances live on TV and then you hear it like in Japanese animation. In Japanese animation, people tend to wear headphones for like dubbing, but other people, like in live action or cartoons even, they don't really wear headphones, at least from what I've seen.
Generally you have this negative feedback loop that happens when you wear headphones throughout the recording where as you listen to yourself, you will, I don't know if this happens to everybody. I know it happens to me, and I know it's a pretty common problem. But as you hear yourself performing, you will start critiquing your own performance as you're performing.
Yeah, but there's that too.
Like it creates this negative feedback loop of you sort of like, okay, am I hitting everything right? Am I doing all that I wanted to do with the script? Am I, do I have this going? Do I have that going? What do I sound like? Oh man, that sounded terrible. And you start getting into your own mind.
Yes.
We've had this, I know, we've had this discussion on the mic check several times.
Yes, we have. Well, that's the reason why in here, in my particular booth, I've set up 2 monitors, and my second monitor is off to the side where I can't see my DAW until I'm finished, because I'm a technical guy. Okay, my kind of elevator talk about myself most of the time is I'm half hippie and half engineer. The hippie half does all the acting and has all the fun, and the engineer half wants to shut him up. And when if I got my headphones on and I'm looking at my DAW and I'm like, monitoring my levels out of the corner of my eye. It's like they're already set. Everything's good. It's going to hit where it needs to hit. And if I have to normalize just a shade, it won't hurt anything, you know. But at the same time, my head gets into this. They're not going to be able to hear it. Oh God, I said that too softly.
I know what you mean.
So it's like, you know, if I'm taking direction, you know, I'll wear at least one on one ear so I can hear the director. But I keep everything else out of the way, and it's like I'm looking straight at the copy, and that's the only thing that matters. You know.
Yeah, the major challenge for many voice actors out there is to, when you're performing, perform. When you're editing, critique. But when you're performing, perform.
Don't think about being hard on yourself. Oh, I screwed up.
Yeah, always screwed up, or I think I might have breathed a little too hard there, or that take was really bad because I stumbled over myself and the editing might come off really weird. You know, all of the little tiny things that oftentimes gets into your head. Just put that aside by taking off the headphones and focus solely on what you're doing with the script in front of you. So if you do have headphones hooked up, like I've got headphones in my studio right now. I mean, I have to use them to listen to you guys too, but sometimes I have to readjust it if I need to do more. I readjust my mic if I need to do more movement or whatnot. But I'll go ahead and listen through my headphones then to try to make sure that the levels are right. But I put them away pretty quickly afterwards because, yeah, you have this. Sometimes you have this tendency of just critiquing yourself as you're performing, and you'll really ruin your performance that way.
Okay.
So anyway, I think that's enough information overload.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate the feedback you guys gave me.
No problem. Feel free to jump in whenever you'd like to give anybody else feedback, something that you may have noticed.
Yes, sir.
But why don't we go ahead and go for another volunteer? Who would like to go next?
I think John had mentioned he wants to go next.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave the group a little early today due to a personal commitment, so yeah, I'd appreciate it.
Got it. Well, why don't you go ahead and go next?
Sounds good.
Whenever you're ready, go for it.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
Alrighty then. What do you guys have to say about that?
That had such a relaxed feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
It made me wish Movie Gallery still existed.
I was thinking the same thing about how deeply into the Ed Studio script you had to been going for a place that didn't exist anymore.
I know, right?
It's like, well, it's like the Saturn.
I think.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Don.
I think my only critique with it was that when one of the phrases, I think it was "some of them look like you," it got a little bit crashed together. It sounded, I guess, just to me, it sounded like some of them look like you.
I stumbled on that. Yeah, I did.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think on, or at least one of the parts that I noticed, it's amazing. It sounded more, I guess, it's like, kind of like almost like it was a slightly annoyed, but
yeah, I know what you mean. No sooner than a word left my mouth, I realized, no, you don't downspeak on amazing. It's amazing, not it's amazing.
Yeah, right there. So, that sounded much better.
Yeah.
I mean, good catch, but remember what we talked about, self-critiquing.
Critique. Yeah. Hindsight's a heck of a thing, isn't it?
Yes, it is. All right. Well, now that we have the little pronunciation and word stuff out of the way, why don't we go ahead and go for another take?
Thank you.
Roll it.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
All right. Go ahead. What did you all think?
At the section where you said "and poof," you started speeding up a bit, and it made a couple of the phrases like run into each other a bit.
You mean after poof?
Yeah, after poof.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my pacing picked up a little bit after that?
Yeah, you go, poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Okay. Suddenly, yeah.
I was trying to go for a little bit slower read, so you think I could have... Okay, I got you. Yeah. Do you think this is maybe 30 seconds?
Seems like it. Actually, it could be 15. No, 30. 30.
Yeah.
No, I don't think this is...
It's definitely 30.
Yeah. Let's try to fit all of this with video overlay.
Oh, yeah.
15 seconds.
They'll make you try.
That's right.
Yeah, if you're in radio and this is a mom and pop client, they're trying to get that in 15 seconds.
Or 20 anyway, yeah. Do they do 20s or is it all 15?
We need to squeeze this down to a 5. We have to fit it in a specific spot.
Got to get one of those guys that does the disclaimers for that.
For a brief period, one of the major broadcasting giants had little 2-second mini spots. I'm not making that up.
Wow.
Oh,
they were fitting in. Yeah, they were fitting in. Yeah, they were doing 24 tonight on Fox, and then right into the next spot.
Oh, sure. You know what? I think I've heard some of those. They don't do that much anymore, though, right?
No, they don't.
No.
Well, anyway, now that we've got all that, I can't even talk. Why does this happen to me every single week? I call myself a voice actor. I can't even speak. All right. Hey, I rhymed. I'm a poet and didn't even know it.
All right. Off into Dr. Seuss now.
1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish.
So what do you think? One more and I'll pass the torch?
One more. Sure. Go for it.
All right. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That was much better.
You know, I've noticed something when you do your first reads, John, or when you're nervous about doing a read, you do go into a VO voice. You have a pattern that you jumped into.
You know, I wanted to ask you actually before I got into this, your take on what style this should be read. I sort of felt like it's maybe a conversational / announcer-y a little bit. I mean, or just straight up, conversational.
What this sounds like is it almost sounds like an ad for a magic show.
Yeah.
You know, like one of those. It should have a styling of one of those, or a bit of style from one of those, like Broadway magic performances or magic acts or Vegas magic acts is what I meant to say about Broadway. What am I talking? So disconnected with the world. Yeah, with like a Vegas magic show where there's a little bit of mystery building up into it. That's kind of what I was trying to get at with Nathan's read earlier. Was It seems like, you have this build up, you have this pivot point at poof, and then you have this sort of breakdown of everything of like, holy crap, what kind of world have I stepped into? It's amazing. You just sit back, you just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. Suddenly you notice, wait, who are these people on the couch and where have they been this entire time?
So you're looking to inject a little mystery into the tone.
A little mystery at the beginning and a little humor at the end, you remember them, your family.
Yeah.
The humor at the end kind of feels like one of those farmers commercials. I can hear him doing this. You remember them, your family? Some of them look like you.
What's his name? He's great.
I'm trying to remember his name. Oh, goodness. I just remember characters he's played.
Yeah. He did that movie Whiplash. He was great in that.
He played J. Jonah Jameson, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was just in a recent movie I saw him in, too. I don't know what it was.
But I kept picturing that kind of delivery. Hopefully I get back into that when I do this myself.
Well, Nathan Cundiff, would you mind taking over for me just for a moment? I have to use the restroom.
Oh, okay.
I was going to add on, basically, when I was doing the read, I keep picturing like a family. Like back when I would watch like old VHS tapes, I would picture like a family sitting in a dark room watching like a small TV with the words home recording VHS and showing the movie, just sitting together, having a good time.
I remember VHS.
Yeah.
I remember Beta.
I can literally picture, the context of this spot now. It just kind of popped into my head. The family is sitting in the living room, and you have this narrative type of character standing there in the living room with them. They're oblivious that he even exists. But he's talking about, you ever notice what happens when you put in a movie? And then he goes into that, and but yeah, that's just that's what I see in the style of this.
I guess the question is, are you okay with it, or you want to hear it one more time?
I'd like to hear it just one more time. And I know you have to go here in a few minutes, so
soon, not immediately.
You kind of picture yourself doing that, like you're that physical character, or let's say they animated the thing, so that you have real family, but you got an animated character walking through the living room.
Well, that visual of the disjointed, random person standing there unseen amongst the family, sort of narrating the thing. That was a good visual.
Okay.
I was going to add one more thing before you start. One thing I did notice on your last read, you kind of mashed disappears and gone a little bit too quickly. Like you went disappears, gone. Like I kind of pictured a little bit more of a pause with it. And magical powers was kind of slightly downplayed, not too much, but I just kind of noticed it just a little bit. But other than that, it was perfect. The last one you did. But yeah, whenever you're ready.
Go for it.
Sorry, getting a little family interaction here at the wrong time. It never fails.
Do any of them look like you?
Thankfully, no. Luckily for them, they actually look like my wife and her family, which is a good thing. All right, and that aside, good pattern break there. All right, here we go. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That was really good. I really like how you ended that one.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good advice there.
Thank you.
Anything else from the Peanut Gallery? There's a few of us we haven't even heard from yet.
That's okay. Some people join in just to watch.
Yeah, that's true.
Watch and learn.
Why not, right?
Absolutely.
Participation is so much more fun, please.
Oh, yes, it is.
Anyway.
I appreciate the input. You know, I feel like every week I come on and kind of do a cold read, and the advice that I get from the group really helps me tighten it up every time. So, yeah, thanks for your input.
You're welcome.
That is the purpose of the mic check.
Yes, absolutely.
But as time rolls on, so shall the turns. Do we have a volunteer to go next?
You know, I'll go next.
All right.
See if I can stick with my plan.
Right, Nathan C. Whenever you're ready, we're rolling.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just like you and your family. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
All right, opening it up. What did you all think?
Slow down a bit.
Some of the pacing was a bit inconsistent, at least to me. I think if you just slow it down to like a consistent tone.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Bueller? No? Okay. All right. Go for it.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
That was better.
Okay. How could he improve?
I think on the part where he did the same thing I did, you know, you and your family, like kind of threatening tone, at least. Other than that, yeah, I think that's everything that I have.
All right. Anybody else? Did anybody happen to notice the same issue, I guess, that Nathan noticed? So weird that Nathan noticed about Nathan.
I was taking a second. I was like, that Nathan? I was like, wait.
Oh, and when you say gone, I kind of picture a little more gone.
Yeah, the way you said gone was a bit like you were in a horror movie and somebody got taken and somebody just told you somebody got kidnapped. What, gone?
They were gone. I need a specific set of skills to get them back.
And I guess make it a little more friendlier on the Movie Gallery. We have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. Kind of a little more like that. At least that's how I'm reading it.
I think your separations are a bit too abrupt. Like you're stopping really hard and you're not letting the words flow into a natural stopping point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just tighten them up a bit.
We believe in you.
So, yeah, one thing I've noticed lately is punctuation is really squiffy. Like, it's not. Sometimes periods can be commas, and commas can be ignored altogether. So,
Yeah.
just keep that in mind.
Sometimes they have to be, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. There is a point in the middle where, towards the end anyway, we have thousands of great movies, period, including your favorite. That's a comma there.
Yeah. It's really weird. Really quick, one script that I reviewed for a training session was basically a collection of short sentences, like 2 to 3 word long sentences. Like that was the entire script. It was really awkward. But listening to the winning audition, it was really interesting. He read it like one run-on sentence almost, but that they were like a bunch of commas, and it sounded much better. So yeah, you might want to, blur the punctuation a little bit in your reading.
okay. Pardon me. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. Every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
You're getting that consistent pacing better. My thing is when you did the just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. I think that could have been paced better. I think it was a little bit fun.
Yeah. I'm not hearing the pauses that I think are like supposed to be in the script. Like you kind of like skip from one line to the next. Like when you put in a movie, it's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back. Like you go really fast in between the lines. And I think there's supposed to be slight pause in between them.
Okay. I'm going to do a little bit of a pattern break kind of thing.
Do it.
Then I'll drop back into another read.
Whichever helps you.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
That definitely sounds more like a magician.
That was different.
All right, so we have the pattern break out of the way.
That's for Harry Potter.
I slightly kept picturing a certain Marvel character that's been in movies not too long ago.
Doctor Strange?
Yeah. A little hand thing like he it's like, now that I've done my pattern break, I'm going to do my...
And for my next trick, I'm going to read this properly, like a magician or a musician.
Whenever you're ready.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
All right, that one was a lot better pacing wise. I can't remember which part, but one part sounded almost like you're almost slightly sadistic when you said it. It wasn't like over the top, but it was just like slight.
Slightly cynical.
Yeah, cynical is what I probably was looking for.
I have this thing with my own personal sarcasm, and I kind of dropped into something I've heard Pat Fraley teach on, and I just kind of used my personal style of sarcasm for the. You remember them?
I love sarcasm.
Some of them look like you.
Some of them look like you.
Just, you know, it may have come off a little bit more sharper edged than I had planned, but it was my personal style.
Some of them look like you. Ew.
Well, it was interesting. It was interesting hearing your take on it, of your own personal sarcasm.
Well, that's the thing, is everyone has a personal style that they will they will inject into something. You know, I mean, you may even sound like another actor, but there's something about your personal style that layers into what you read that will set you apart, no matter how you actually vocally sound. You know, it's that personality thing.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Okay, just checking.
Okay, did you get the link, Lauren?
No, I was browbeated by Chris Kendall. He's like, all right, go get to the mic check. I'm like, oh shit. I looked at my watch. I'm like, it's over. There should be
Nope.
Yet. We're just in the middle.
Oh, this is 2 hours.
Yeah, and we have been going over by 10 to 20 minutes. So, you know, with a full room like this, you're not late.
All right, man.
Of course,
really
you're not
sorry.
obligated to stay for the entire thing, although we would love you to. You can always duck out whenever you need to.
And on that note,
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
going to have to. Thanks, everyone. I'll catch the other half on YouTube.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of the day.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Okay, we will paste in that script.
In other words, oh shit, Lauren's here. I'm out.
Yes, we will be broadcasting on YouTube as well.
Oh, this is being recorded. I'm sorry.
This is
Hey, no worries. No worries. All right. So,
there's the link.
is everybody happy with Nathan's performance, or should
Yes.
we begin?
I
I believe he did a great job. I think it's just my opinion, though.
I thought it was his best read so far.
Look at that. And Nathan has won the award for the best read yet. I'll allow you to decide which Nathan wins that award.
The next one I win is going to be Nanny.
I'm going to be like
your Emmys.
I'm going to be the hardest project for you guys to work on because I haven't done anything in a long, long time. So when the last thing that I recorded, I listened to it. I'm like, oh God, you suck.
Okay, the best way to do this is read it. Try not to be hard on yourself. Just focus on the performance. You can critique yourself when you listen back. That's basically what they told me when I first did the read.
Yeah.
Right on.
We don't self-criticize in here, you know.
Oh, well, you know.
We walk the fine line between self directing and self-criticism. And if you're a perfectionist like me, I get it. However, I had to kill the perfectionist multiple times in this booth. Yeah, he's so what you have to do is just, you know, do your read. Don't think about internally, okay? No introspection of the belly button in here. Just do your read, and then let us give you the leg up and let you know what you need to adjust.
Well, I did 8 recordings for a guy who has a website, and he puts them wherever he needs to put them. But when I was listening to the playbacks on all of them, I was like, oh God, I sounded like Carlton, your doorman. This is Carlton, your doorman.
That's not too bad.
Nobody saw Rhoda, really? Am I the only old guy?
I saw Rhoda. I used to watch the show avidly when I was a kid.
I did.
You're dating yourself. You're dating yourself.
Don't hate yourself.
So anyway, back on track here. When you do your read, just read and, let yourself flow naturally with the script. And then we will let you know what needs to be adjusted and then take it from there. So with that, who is going next? Will it be Lauren? I know it will be
actually,
a definite cold read.
Can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Awesome.
Oh, goody.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That was pretty good.
I liked it.
It was a good delivery. It felt like it needed a little bit more energy.
A little more energy?
You had me at stick it in.
It just felt like it needed just maybe tack on a smile.
Yeah, like for the first half, I kind of pictured like a meadow for some reason. Meadow flowers everywhere, and then the second half was like, now I'm picturing the movie.
So, okay. I mean, like you were saying, you're coming from the perspective of you're sounding like a magician, but not quite as over the top as I took it when I did my pattern break.
The pattern break was still pretty funny.
I liked it.
Perfect.
I liked
the pattern break
Michael.
is good.
That poof was slightly unsatisfactory.
The poof was unsatisfactory? What?
Yes, I was unsatisfied with your poof.
You were unsatisfied with the poof.
Yes. You could poof better, that'd be great.
Okay, I'll try to improve the poof.
Can you poof us again?
Yeah, I'll give you. Why don't I take a couple takes of the poof? We'll just have some safety takes.
The power
of various different styles. You can cut in whatever you'd like. It'll work, right?
If you could poof with an accent, that'd be great.
I think it's beneficial, at least from what I saw. I think it was Nathan do like a break read, just like get a little loose and then try it again, kind of like in a serious way, so that way you're all loosened up and like ready to go. So try like a break, or whatever it was called that Nathan called it.
Pattern break.
Pattern break.
Well, I mean, let me see if I can actually hit a slightly more energetic read, and if I need to, I will hit the pattern break.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. Thanks, phone, for turning off right when I needed you to. Pick up. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them. Your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That was great.
Did that have
That had more energy
yes,
in
it did.
Okay.
Your proof was satisfactory, Michael.
The satisfactory. Good.
You pasted in the smile this time.
Paste it in. Yeah, sorry, I had to find where I was keeping that thing. I don't know where I'm going to save these things in these files. Copied and pasted it.
The first read had that car, the automotive industry.
I'm sorry. I had a pickup session yesterday for a car company I did. So yeah, that might have been stuck in my head.
You were doing Toyota and we were doing Movie Gallery.
No. It was a more embarrassing car company than. I'm just kidding. No, it's not embarrassing. They're just funny cars. It's the smart.
Yes.
But anyway, so Any changes, anything like that? Anything you guys noticed that you wanted to point out other than the poof?
Not that I recall. I thought it was pretty good.
Cool, I'm off the hook. Woo!
I poofed right.
I poofed real good, Mommy.
Just make sure you
Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
boy.
back on task.
Yeah. I was gonna say this is turning into something a little bit weird now.
Was the mic check? Now it's a thing. Okay. Okay.
Alrighty then. Well, without further ado, why don't we go ahead and move on? Who would like to volunteer next?
Can I?
I'll take it now.
Okay.
I'll take a nap.
All right, go for it.
Wait, who's going, Shane or Rochelle?
Yeah, that's. Did we make that clear?
Yeah.
I'll take it, Rochelle. Okay.
Huh?
Here we go. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
All right, let's open up the floodgates. What did y'all think?
It had the same type of read the entire time. Like, there was
Sounded
no.
like he was rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
It sounded a little bit fast, but for a 30-second spot, that was probably right. I was probably right about 30 seconds, even though it did sound fast. I didn't time it, but it just seemed to me that,
I'm
So
not
maybe
saying
it's not
it was fast. I'm just saying that's just how it sounded.
Right.
It's like it's like you needed to take a piss real bad or something.
I think it was just the tone. It was just a little bit, maybe not. I guess maybe it was a little bit loud the way you were doing it. It's like, hey guys, trying to, I guess, calm it down a bit while still keeping that 30-second time gate. If that makes sense.
Okay.
All right, well, whenever you're ready, go ahead. We're rolling.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That was better. However, I kind of get the voices like more of an instructional kind of type voice is what I'm thinking of. The way I did it is just picturing more of a kind of a calm, soothing, no, not soothing, but kind of like a family-friendly type of voice that you would hear like on a VHS tape.
Yeah.
Kind of something more along that lines. The way I did, I just picture the family sitting down, making it feel welcoming.
You're watching a Disney DVD.
And now our feature presentation. You know which one I'm talking about. It shows the titles.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the voice I'm picturing for this.
Hello?
Oh, sorry. I was just checking my microphone working because
it's working.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, I don't know how good advice, because the whole point of the commercial was that film is this magical thing and it transports you to this magical place. I don't know how good advice is telling you to calm it down. You know what I mean?
Can I get you to say a word for me?
That was kind of my take on it too, is that, we said earlier, it's kind of like a magician type, a promo for a magic show. And Yeah, I mean, a relaxed read doesn't necessarily say magician to me. I mean,
I was gonna say.
In fact, there were a couple where I almost pictured the magician being Stephen Wright, the comedian.
Well, you see, the thing is, though,
So-
is there's the on-stage magician and there's the street magician sort of thing. If I may try to pull up these styles, with the street magician, it's not really the on-stage magician, obviously, because they're playing to a massive crowd. They're going to be huge. They're going to be bombastic. It's going to be right up in people's faces. He's going to point to things very clearly, make sure that everybody's paying attention to that thing. They might be talking a little too fast, but it works for the situation they're in. Then there's the street magician, which is just dealing with people right off the street. And I really hope I can communicate this well. There is kind of this slow boil to this tipping point that they're kind of going for. Well, when it comes to a street magician, I don't know if you've ever seen like David Blaine or anything like that way back when. But he's just sort of friendly, interacting with people, and then when it starts getting to the really crazy stuff, obviously he's got his weird performance things that he does, but for most of the street magicians that I've seen, is they've sort of let things hang in the air. They let the people sort of seethe and broil in the situation, if that makes any sense. Like they sort of implant this idea, this feeling of mystery, and they just let the person dwell on it. And that's kind of more of the feel that I was thinking of when I mentioned magicians, sort of this, here, watch. This is something that happens to you all the time, but you never even notice it, and I'm going to turn it into this big, massive presentation, this huge trick that you've never even seen before. You stick in the movie, you sit back, you hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Ooh, you know what I mean? It's kind of like pointing out this weird thing that happens to you all the time, that you never really notice that there is a magical quality to movies, that everything sort of appears.
Okay, so that's almost like combining a magic show with a movie trailer. The rest of the world just disappears.
Then give that a try.
All right. Let me give it another shot. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
All right. And what did you all think?
Sounded like he changed it up pretty good.
Yeah, I like how he did the second half.
Look at that. You stunned him.
He pulled the edge off of it. For sure, I could tell.
Yeah. He pulled the edge off of the Edge script.
It didn't sound. Well, I mean, there was the first couple reads. There was this announcer quality, and I know for Shane, being in the area of broadcasting that he's in, that's kind of one of those things that's hard to shake. Yeah. Because either you're constantly hearing it or you're constantly having to do it. And so it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, I need to adjust this and just, get a lot more laid back with it. And that's exactly what you did with that one.
Yeah, my rule of thumb is no matter what the genre, after I cold read it one time, I'll end up each successive read, I'll dial back by about 50% until I get it the way, because otherwise it's going to sound way over the top, especially on stuff like e-learning and that kind of stuff.
Well, that's actually a really good rule of thumb to have when you approach scripts. It's much easier to pull down your energy than it is to try to push up.
Yeah.
So, good on you.
Yeah.
Well, congrats. You did a great job.
I agree.
Alrighty then. Moving right along. Who would like to go next?
Can I?
Yes, you may.
I can. Okay. Let me. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Huh. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That was pretty good.
She ignored your ellipses though before poof. You just went right in end poof.
I think toward the end, you sped it up just a little bit after your stumble.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It wasn't too bad, but it just kind of, after the stumble, it just kind of made you kind of rush ahead a little bit.
And magical powers kind of felt kind of downplayed. Other than that, other than what they said, I didn't really have any or find any other problems. What you did, it felt pretty natural to me.
Okay.
All right. So put a little more magic in your magic.
Absolutely. Sorry.
All right. Go ahead. Go one more time.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in? Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That wasn't bad. You kind of mashed together and poof. It's supposed to be and poof.
Also, your
same thing
pacing
she did
kind of
the
went
first read.
from a little fast to slow near the ends.
Should it be the same pace then?
I think it's okay that you vary your pace in just about any commercial because, to me, that's kind of what people do in general conversation. But it seemed a little rushed at the beginning, and then it was like you were very slowly pitching it down.
Yeah, kind of like that. Your first read was I'm not gonna say this. It was a little more consistent, so to speak, and a little more natural. Oh, I said that your first read felt a little more natural in it.
Okay.
But like the second half.
The notes would be to keep to keep one pace then.
Yeah, try to stay consistent with your pace.
Okay.
Yeah. While kind of changing the tone a little bit with each thought.
Have you ever? Okay, never mind. What?
No, I was going to say, yeah, go ahead and give us another read.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
All right. That wasn't bad.
Are you feeling more comfortable with the script itself? Like with getting through it, like the wording and,
I'm not stuttering. Is that a thing?
That is a
There's
thing.
a thing.
Now
There's a thing.
let's go ahead and try to structure your read a little bit more around the story. So that the reason why it's really broken up at the top, the reason why everything's in like, just a couple of words each as it goes down to poof, is because poof is this sort of like turning point. Poof is this change in tone, this change in feel, where you're building up to this magical moment beforehand. It's this sort of countdown, like you can almost count. You can almost set numbers next to the lines, and that's like the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and poof. It's like this thing is building up, and then it happens right here. The rest of the world just disappears. Again, it's sort of like a magician building up a magic trick. There's this sense of almost urgency, almost like a tension that's supposed to be building up, and then poof, what happened? Oh, the rest of the world disappears. Look at the magic trick I've done. I have moved the mountain, like right before your very eyes. It's supposed to have this like build-up quality, then turn, and then this explanation of this whole weird new world that you're in where you have to interact with other people. I mean, how weird is that? There are tiny people who look like you. What is this? Well, it's your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you.
I don't know if it showed in my read, but I was trying to show it from a point of view of a teenager going, oh my God, I'm watching a movie with my family. And it's like, remember your family? The people who give you allowances. Did it show that? I don't know if it showed.
Yeah, it showed a little bit.
Kind
more
of.
So than...
The problem is I don't know. Of course, if any of you disagree with me, go ahead and jump in. The problem that I see with that is that I think it's the wrong audience.
Yeah,
you see, because a teenager is not going to pay for movie gallery.
No.
For family time with movies.
No. The audience, the target audience right there is mom and dad. It's one of those things where you can be like, the uber busy business mom or uber busy business dad, as it were, and you've got somebody in there basically telling you, don't be too busy for your family. Take some time and watch a movie with them.
My best advice would probably try and go for a little more of a motherly type voice, kind of like you were doing your first read. I noticed you kind of stopped doing that in your reads after your first one.
I have a question. In the part where you guys say, your family, they look like you, should you throw a little sarcasm?
Well, yeah, that's part of the humor there.
I thought that.
Yeah, well, you have been. That's what I was picking up on.
Oh, okay.
You're good, sweetie. You're good.
You sure?
Y'all could still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, why don't we go ahead and take it from the top?
Okay. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them. Your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases, and every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
All right, that wasn't bad. My only issue was it kind of sounded didn't sound quite as happy. Like the announcer didn't sound as happy as I was kind of led to believe how the script goes.
I was smiling during that one, but okay. Oops. I really was, I swear.
Smile bigger.
Ah!
Well, that's the thing, Rochelle. Like, smile doesn't necessarily mean happy. Like, there are a lot of different emotions that can be attached to smiling, such as like being content or just being pleased with something. So just because you're smiling, it's when people say to smile, they're not necessarily saying make it sound happier, make it sound more excited. They're more saying like sound pleased with. They're probably more saying like sound pleased with what you're reading, or like just like be content, like be in a headspace where this isn't such a drain to do.
Am I really sounding like that?
No, I'm just explaining because you seem to like be like, oh, but I was smiling, so didn't I sound happy? Like just because you're smiling doesn't necessarily equate to happy.
I know. I thought that it meant it sounded content too.
I'd like to piggyback on that by saying there are times when I have a hard time saying certain words, but when I smile, they just flow right out. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
What's
You're
up?
doing
What are you
good.
feeling? What are you feeling right now?
For right now, I feel like I thought I was doing it. I thought I was doing all that, but I'm not. That makes me feel.
You can do it, Lexi. You can do it. I believe
Don't
in
call
you.
me that here.
Sorry.
Well, again, none of this is a personal attack. None of this is
Oh
anything
no,
really
I don't feel attacked. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I know, but the thing is I don't want this to. I really don't want to sound mean or anything, but you're apologizing way too much.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, when you get a critique on the read, or you do a lot of reacting to it, like it's like it feels like giving you giving you any sort of insight or ideas of what we had on your or any critique on what we had on your performance. It feels like you're taking it like a personal attack.
Oh, I'm not. I swear I'm not. I'm really not.
Okay.
Honestly,
just kind of what it came off like.
Have you ever had that moment where you feel like you've been putting on your shirt right the entire time, and then you turn around and they figure out that someone tells you that you buttoned it up wrong, and you never knew all these years until somebody told it to you? It feels like that. It feels like that right now to me. So if I feel if it sounds like that, I do apologize because I know you're not attacking me. I just feel
okay.
That's what it's feeling
because,
like.
Yeah, what we'd like, what I at least what I've done when, because I don't know if I don't know if you've ever worked with a coach before, but sometimes it can get really hands-on and it can get really direct.
Oh yeah.
I've been working with Nancy Wolfson quite a bit lately, and it always gets that way. There are aspects about my performance I didn't even know I was doing as wrong as I was doing whenever I'm in a session with her. And what I've started doing is, yes, I've also realized in many cases that I've been buttoning up my shirt all wrong this entire time, and I'd never even realized it. But what I have been doing is just just start readjusting the buttons.
Okay then. But just what I'm going to do. Sorry.
No, there's nothing. Again, nothing to apologize for. You did nothing wrong. I mean, I didn't want this to be like an emotionally traumatic experience for you every week on the mic deck.
Oh, no.
We really didn't want you to feel like like we're just coming down on you over and over again. Because I have dealt with voice actors who are like that. I have spoken to voice actors who are like that, and it's really sad because we want to help, but we got to point out the problems, and what we're expecting when we do is just for you to start readjusting the button and readjusting the things behind.
You can do it.
That's
I
all.
honestly think I'm doing that. Okay, so
Okay. So then with that out of the way, now with that whole awkward conversation that I brought up, my fault, I'm sorry, out of the way, let's go ahead and get back into the read. Why don't you go ahead and get us.
Okay, I am going to just double check. What am I doing again? I'm just double checking so I don't do the same thing twice. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. So definitely give us the sarcasm on the some of them look like you line. Your whole the family thing. Give yourself a little bit of a build up just before poof, and then just keep doing what you're doing after that. You're doing a good job so far.
And stop saying sorry.
Okay.
There you go. Replace sorry with okay.
Okay. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
I liked it.
Opening it up. What did y'all think?
Yeah, I think she hit it.
I liked it.
She did a good job.
All right.
Yeah, I thought so too. If there was one little nitpicky thing for me, the poof, the last two reads seemed a little almost anticlimactic, like a dud firework. That everything went okay until it got up in the air, and then when you expected it to bang, it just kind of went but that's just again.
Uh-huh.
And don't apologize for that.
Okay.
She just said it. I heard you. Your proof was unsatisfactory.
Great. More unsatisfactory proofing. All right, cool.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if it makes you feel any better, I don't know if you came in late, but I was telling Nathan and a few folks before we started that I was at VO Atlanta last week, and we did this big group workout with David Goldberg, who's the CEO of Edge Studios. And so you've got all levels of voice talent in there, from newbies to guys who've been doing it 20, 30 years and making a living doing it. And I only remember about 20 people that read for him. I think I only remember like maybe one or two where they got past the first sentence without him going, okay, wait, whoa, stop. So, if those guys, if he was that nitpicky about those guys, then don't worry about us, is what I'm telling you.
Shane, are you aware that you're a little overmodulated? Does anybody else hear it like I do?
Yeah,
He is.
Yeah, probably a little too close to my mic.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah, now you sound better.
Yeah, I think I got a little too close.
That's okay. We understand what it's like when you get into it.
Definitely.
I'm leaving that
Alrighty
alone.
then. So, in the interest of time, I am going to go ahead and move this right along. Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, whenever you're ready, from the top, we're rolling.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
All right.
I liked it.
Pacing was just a little fast. Just curious, were you timing yourself?
No, I was not.
Okay. I think somewhere in there you may have had the it's 30 seconds stuck in your head. That's kind of what it felt like.
Maybe I wasn't even thinking about it, but that could be.
No, I remember you said you naturally speak a little fast.
I do, yes.
Fast. So let's go ahead and slow that down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the feel was great. You just need to dial back it a little bit.
I agree.
Perfect. So just like you were doing, but a little slower. From the
All
top,
right.
whenever you're ready.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears.
I'm going to stop you right here real quick. You're still at the same pace.
Okay. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just sit back, you just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
Opening it up, what did y'all think?
Thought it was better.
I didn't. Well, for me personally, you remember them, your family. Some of them look like you.
Yeah. I'm gonna echo that. That was one thing I picked out.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it was all right, but you need a little more sarcasm.
Okay.
Yeah. Just add a little edge of cynicism to your sarcasm, and I think it'll work.
All right. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
I like how you ended the second half of that. First half, I felt kind of need a little more of that. What was that kind of feel for a movie type deal for a family
Trailer?
friend? Not necessarily trailer-like, but more like a home video kind of type release. Whenever they're talking.
Oh, a direct-to-DVD or a direct-to-movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that was missing a little bit in the first half, but the second half, that was pretty good.
I didn't hear any sarcasm.
Still no sarcasm?
No.
Yeah.
Come on, turn up the wise ass.
All right.
If it helps, you could do one of those break reads. Kind of get...
Yeah, we'll just give it a shot here. Give more
All right.
sarcasm. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
Better.
That was way better. I detected the sarcasm.
I could detect the sarcasm in that one.
Best one yet.
You know, but I want to say when you said you just stick it in, I can tell you're getting sick of reading this thing.
Really?
You just stick it in. Damn it. I can get really used to these things. Yeah, I'm going to be here every Saturday. Absolutely. Chris was up my ass to get me in here because I can't afford a coach. I really can't. So he says, you don't need a coach. Just do these mic checks all the time. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, right now I'm doing a lot of listening to you guys just to see how this whole thing goes, and I'm following along on the script. You might be lucky, and I'll read one today, but I'm not sure yet. I'm still butterflying around over here.
Well, as long as you're listening in, and as long as it's getting you in the mindset, that's what matters.
Butterflies, you remember them? Floaty, fluttery little things in the sky.
There's that style. Play off of that one, Jim, right there on your next read.
You've tried explaining something to somebody who just doesn't get it, doesn't understand at all, like the finer details of whatever the thing is. Like, what's something that you're really into that's kind of like, unique to you, that, you can talk to people, not a lot of people really understand the details of it.
Oh, that's what you're saying I should feel like?
Yeah. Like, imagine you're trying to explain, I don't know, put yourself in the shoes of a physicist,
Mm-hmm.
I know not everybody's cup of tea, I understand. But imagine you're trying to explain to somebody on the street, what exactly is particle physics? It's this thing you have expertise in, this thing you understand, but they're just not getting. Suddenly it's just you and your family. The internal or sub-dialogue to that is, come on, your family? You remember them, your family.
Okay.
Some of them look like you. Are you really not getting this? Is your skull so thick?
All right. We'll give it a shot that way. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases, and every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
I was liking how the first half went. Second half, I guess, felt slightly rushed, but not too much.
That last paragraph? Or the one before that?
Starting from suddenly, it's just you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just me. I didn't really take the sarcasm as strong as the last one. That's just me.
Well, I agree with you. I thought the one right before that, the sarcasm was better than it was on this one.
Yeah, you took the edge off of it a
But
little.
then I was trying to take Michael's direction, and I guess I didn't do a very good job of it.
Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. You know what I mean? You're like, come on, idiot. Smack him across the face. They look like you. No?
There you go. Mentally smack them right across the face.
Yeah. God, I wish I could remember that actor's name. That's the approach. I'm thinking of the farmers commercials, because
him.
Yeah, J.K.
Simmons. Yeah, J.K. Simmons. I mean, it's that kind of. You see him use that a lot in those spots. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do it. J.K. Simmons style of approach, pretty much to the whole thing, but. Throw that style of sarcasm into that line.
Let's see if I can do him. I know who you're talking. I know exactly who you're talking about. I'm just
Don't
trying to figure
an impression of, but just kind of his style.
Right. No, I understand.
Have you ever seen the movie Whiplash?
No.
He was a master at it in that movie.
I just saw him in a movie recently. I can't remember what movie it was, but it was.
He's playing a music teacher who has this at a college, like a music conservatory, and there's this kid that's a drummer that he is just an absolute. I mean, he's just a sadist to this guy. I mean, he's really. But some of the times when he would give him be in his face critiquing his drum fills were just. They were very profane. I can't repeat them here, but they were so memorable.
Mm-hmm.
But there was real thick on the sarcasm.
All right, let's get one more here.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Suddenly, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery, play on.
I felt that.
Me too. Well, unfortunately, and again, in the interest of time, we're going to have to go ahead and move this one along.
You're hired, Jim. You got
it. All right. Good. Finally hit it.
Let's move to the next one.
All right. Who would like to go next?
I can try.
All right, Dodge. Whenever you're ready, from the top.
Have you ever went? Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them. Your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
All right. And now, once again, as per usual, what did y'all think?
I thought that was very good, but just a little choppy in certain parts, in that you put some pauses in that weren't really written in the script.
Ow!
Yeah, and it seemed to me at the very end you speed it up a little bit. Some of that I agree, though. Overall it was a good read.
So basically, what it sounds like is being said so far is keep the same performance. Just make sure that the pacing is even throughout, or flows normally throughout. Unlike how I was just speaking. Very unlike how I was just speaking. That was very Shatner-esque of me. Make sure your pacing is consistent throughout.
Spock, would you please sit down?
It's going to make for a better ring. Okay.
All right. Dodge, from the top, go for it.
All right. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them. Your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I love the sarcasm. That was great.
It had good consistency, the whole thing.
Yeah, you had a nice build up to the poof on both of those reads, too.
You jumped in and out of the sarcasm, which kept it, it kept it just balanced just right.
Thank you.
Okay, maybe I missed something, but I really didn't hear much of the sarcasm, actually.
All right.
I don't know. That could just be me. That could just be,
There was just
my problem.
It's not just you, Michael. I felt some, but not a whole lot.
Yeah. I didn't really get the sarcasm coming through on that.
There was enough edge to it to be sarcastic, but not so much edge that it was like just slicing into the listener.
Not that I'm one to really talk. It took me 4 tries.
The problem is okay. Commercials. Unless you're in the commercial world, you're not paying attention to commercials. I mean, before you, I don't know about any of you, now that I am, ever since, wanting to make this my absolute career and trying to be a professional in it, I have been paying more attention to commercials and how they perform things and what these different companies are hiring. But I remember a time beforehand when DVR, when it was still new, right? TiVo, when that was still a thing. Nobody watched the commercials. That was the whole point, was to fast forward through the commercials. Nobody paying attention to the commercials. Sometimes when I'm on really long trips and I, want to listen to something different, I listen to talk radio, and I never ever pay attention to those commercials, mostly because I think there's this one guy that constantly comes on that does these commercials that I have no idea how he keeps getting hired. No idea at all. But I'm
only giggling because, okay, well, you're saying no one ever. I've had this natural tendency since I was a 3-year-old child to listen intently and avidly to commercials, practically memorize the things.
Okay, then let me go ahead and modify what I've said. Almost no
Me
one.
too. Me too. I would mimic them too. That's probably why I, got really good at doing voices.
Like, if you listen, if you pay attention to the vast majority of the people who are going to be subjected to commercials, they don't care. They're in the middle of doing other things during that point. The commercial is, commercial break. That's bathroom time in between, in between episodes and whatnot. So.
You want me to hit the sarcasm a bit more?
Yes, you want to hit the sarcasm on the head.
Yeah.
You want to cut into it. Like, if they're going to catch anything, it's going to be something that's kind of funny.
Yeah. That's why my perpetual references to J.K. Simmons and the way he delivers with the farmers commercials, because you can catch that in there. If anything, okay, if I were doing this as an audition, and that would probably be in the spec, we want a J.K. Simmons type, I would go to YouTube and I would listen to him, and how his delivery is. That way it would just give me some kind of reference to what I'm working with and how to deliver in that same style or that same vein, because it's never an impression. It's always just that style or that feel. But yeah, that's the biggest.
But yeah, anyway, long story short, I guess, is
try it again with more.
Do lean in onto the lean right into the sarcasm.
Okay. Have you ever noticed what happens when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof, the rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them. Your family. Some of them look like you. At Movie Gallery, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
That time I got the sarcasm.
Oh, yes.
That
That's
was it.
Yeah, that time it was there.
That was great. That was the read.
I was going to almost suggest think of an X at that spot. They kind of put you in that headspace. Oh, yeah, him again. Yeah, some of them look like you.
Well, congratulations. You've done it.
Yay.
All right. So, who would like to go next? Who is willing to volunteer? Okay. Whenever you're ready, go for it.
Okay.
I think you're muted.
Yeah. There you go.
Takia, you there?
Yeah.
Darn mute button.
Have you ever noticed what happened when you put in a movie? It's amazing. You just pick up, you just stick it in, sit back, hit play, and poof. The rest of the world just disappears. Gone. Suddenly, it's just you and your family. You remember them, your family. Some of them look like you. At movie galleries, we have thousands of great movies, including your favorite holiday movies, plus the latest releases. And every one of them is guaranteed to have the same magical powers. Movie Gallery. Play on.
Boom, 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 boom.
Pretty smooth read. But on the sarcasm side, it was a little more like, hey, you remember them. It felt less like sarcasm, and I don't know, kind of stayed with the rest of the delivery. But otherwise, I mean, smooth, confident.
Yeah. Are you like I keep asking? Are you practicing reading aloud, Takia?
When I can, yes.
Okay. Well, when the opportunity presents itself, keep doing that. It's really paying off.
Yeah, you've come a long way, Takia, in the last few months.
Thanks.
No, you really have.
Thank you.
Alrighty then. Well, anybody else? Okay. Well, I guess that's everybody who's willing to volunteer to go. Well, that was a taste of the mic check. Oh,
Zig hasn't gone. Were you going to volunteer, Zig? Okay. Muted.
Got it. Well,
okay.
You still have time. You still have time. Going once.
You want to try it, Lauren?
Twice. And all right, cool.
Yeah, we'll close it out then.
Yeah, we'll close it off. I think we've landed right on time. So, thank you all very much for coming. I really hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. We're going to be wrapping up the recording at this time, but that does not mean that the mic check itself is over. We can hang out a little bit afterwards and discuss whatever you'd like. So thank you very much, and we'll see you all next week.